Here's our grade 9 unit on financial literacy, and part 1, we are going to be working with percentages, which super useful, because who has not gone shopping and seen like, ooh, 20% off? So we need to know what that means. Or who has not got a test and got a score like, you got 80%. What does that mean? How do we find that out? How do we work with that? Because percentages you're going to use for the rest of your life. You're eventually going to make a lot of money, hopefully, right? And then you have to pay taxes. And taxes are a percentage of how much you make. You pay taxes when you buy stuff. You pay GST at 5%. And 7% is what? Total for 12%. 5% GST. Does anyone know what the other one's called?
Starts with R.
It starts with R now. It's RST.
Nope.
Used to be PST, used to be provincial sales tax. And then the province didn't want to look bad, so they changed it to retail sales tax.
Isn't it the same?
It's the same thing, and it's the same amount of money. I still don't like paying it. Nobody likes paying taxes. So, how do you convert a percentage to a decimal? Because percentages with the percentage sign actually mean a number that's a decimal. And you just take the percentage and divide by 100. Okay? So if you got 10% on a test, you might have got 10 out of 100. Or you might have got 1 out of 10. As a decimal, we take 10, divide it by 100, and you get 0.1. There's a very quick way to divide by 100 without a calculator. Do you know the trick for dividing by 100 without a calculator?
Yeah, you just like move the dot.
You move, so there would be, 10 would have a decimal place right there, right? And if you move that decimal place over 2 spots, you would get 0.1. Question.
The 0 after the 1 doesn't matter.
It doesn't. So you could write it as 0.1. It's a good question. That is perfectly fine. I wrote the extra 0 so you could really see us moving that decimal place 2 places. Does that make sense? Right? So with the 27, if I move that decimal place, that's right here. If I move it 2 spots to the left, I'm going to get 0.27. %?
130.
1.3, because that decimal place moves 2 spots. 1.3. I kept the extra 0 there so you could see it. But you could just write 1.3 if you wanted. Okay, try the last 2 on your own, and I'll put the answers up in a second.
It's okay that you haven't mentioned anything about my lovely new style of beard. It's never been done. Had 2 students now say that, I look younger than that.
No, it's not.
Nate Dogg still disagrees with me.
It's looking sharp, looking sharp.
You should have blonde.
Because I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady. I love this Shady's at this.
I shaved this morning too, so
Nate Dogg still thinks you look younger.
You said something.
all right, how did you do? Did you get point?
Yep.
0.5725. This one's kind of interesting because it's 0.5. You move it to decimal place. Decimal 0.005.
What's 2 0? Oh. What's 2 0?
Why is it 2 zeros? Okay, imagine if I can put as many zeros in front here as possible, right? If I move that dot 2 places, 1, 2, I'd have 2 zeros on the dot.
Okay.
But those last 2 are good to see because sometimes, right, you don't want to get confused with it, just always moving that decimal place 2 places over, right? And the same thing. So I'm going to take out my calculator here, right? Mr. Shirk, what was the test out of that we just did? How many marks? The total. Out of 42?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right,
You finished my test.
No,
so then,
It's like something.
on our calculator, let's say someone got 33 out of 42. We can go 33 divided by 42 to find the decimal, right? Point 7857.
So they got
78.5.
So they got 78.57%. Right? You can also move, if you have the decimal, you can move it the other way and figure out what the actual amount is.
Why is there a battery?
Yeah.
How many people, if they got that on their test, they'd be very happy? Nobody? Some people? 78%? That's a good score.
No.
No, you want higher?
Go
Ooh.
down.
Okay, some of you want higher, some of you that'd be like, that's a decent score on a test. Okay, next box to fill in. This is what we just talked about, converting a decimal back to percentage. Uh-oh. Your calculator said on your test you got 0.25. What percentage did you get on your test?
25.
25%. So you do your next test. And it says 0.313. 13%. Here's our new unit.
Yeah.
Just 1 second. And 1.75 would be 175%. That would be really good on the test. That would have to have a lot of bonus marks
Yeah.
to get 175% on the
Yeah,
test.
it's 2 or 3 cheap from.
¿Y qué significa es marketing?
Marketing?
Es marketing.
Like, are you talking, I'm not sure. You can write it down. I'll double check.
I definitely don't want E's percent on the test.
5%. What's that? Yeah, you don't want 0.01. That would be like you got everything wrong and I maybe gave you a pity mark for writing your name. .01%. So you notice in these notes, you've got boxes to fill in. Everybody caught up and written down on the answers so far? Perfect. Next box to fill in, we got, how do you find a percentage? So these are test marks you got back. 62 out of 100, 20 out of 50, 12 out of 25. Some of these you can do without a calculator. So try them without a calculator and then use your calculator to check if the value matched up with what you got. 62 out of 100 is a fraction. 62 out of 100. We type that into our calculator, we're going to get 0.62
Yeah.
as a decimal. Then what are you going to have to do to that decimal or that fraction? You have to multiply it by 100. Those hundreds will cancel out. Or you can move the decimal place 2 over and you will get 62%. $28 out of 50 on a test that would show up like this. You got 28 out of 50. Does anybody see a trick to figure this one out without a calculator?
You multiply the 50 by 2.
You can multiply both by 2. This would give you 56 out of 100. Sneaky. And you would get 56%. So again, you could type this into your calculator. You could do 20 out of 50, get a decimal, then multiply it by 100 and change it back to a percentage. 12 out of 25. Does anybody know the quick way to check if you passed or failed?
Times it by 4.
Times 4.
Yeah, well, we'll get to the timesing by 4 in a second. I like the shortcut, but if you got 12 out of 25,
What do you think it's gonna be around?
do you think you passed or you think you failed that test? And how do you know you failed?
Well,
12 plus 12 is 24. It's less than
you get
half. Half of 25. You needed 12.5 to pass. And now someone said multiply them by 4 to make it out of 100. And you might be able to see that this is 48%. But again, we could type this into our calculator. 12 divided by 25 and then get a decimal, times it by 100. And you get 48%. Okay? The next three I want you to try. You can use your calculator. You can see if you can come up with a strategy to get it without a calculator. I'll share some mental math strategies for you on some of them.
JR, for these, like, when they're at 3, I look at this, there's a trinomial, one for each. So even in this, I gave one even though it's not really big.
I guess sort of I would say, like, okay, did they get the distribution?
Those might be the other one.
Then are the numbers
that we have
right with the distribution?
So
And
would you
then did
give
they
them
put their
this?
combined like,
Oh.
they got the idea, but then they didn't. That's good. And then, yeah, they combined one like the.
I hope it's not wrong.
What's your first favorite?
Wisconsin, what about you?
For 10?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I have a door and I look at your cups. You sit up front, like back to Walter and Hunter.
Yeah.
Your
Is that the
class is kind
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
no,
Here.
yes, like some of them.
Yeah.
A lot of like,
Yeah.
God, hello.
Oh yeah, let's see how you did on these three.
Yeah, your class is weird.
Did you get 36 out of 40 as 90%?
Yeah.
Okay. Shortcut for this one, check it out. 36 out of 40 if you wanted to do it without a calculator.
And multiply by 2.5.
You can multiply by 2.5, but you could also reduce this to lowest terms is 9 out of 10. And 9 out of 10 is easy to see,
Oh, yeah.
the same as 90 out of 100 to get 90%. Okay, this one though, definitely need a calculator. It is, and you see how I made my equal signs kind of squiggly?
That means it's
That
around.
means it's an approximation. So I had to round it. I could have rounded it to more decimal places if I wanted to. I just rounded it to the nearest whole number. It's 21%.
But how'd you get 21?
I had to use my calculator. So if I took my calculator out, 113 divided by 527. That seems like a very, very long test. The whole test was out of 527 marks. Whew. 21.44, I could then times this by 100,
Look, none of that.
I haven't marked the whole one yet, so.
almost 21.5%.
So you still failed.
Oh, you still really failed. But that's not fair. Out of 527 marks, probably would take you like 7 days to do that test.
Una pregunta, ¿y cuál es nuestra posibilidad de pasar el test?
We're gonna do this first, okay? And the last one, 40 out of 25. That's 160, and this one you could multiply by 40 out of 25. You can multiply by 4 and get 160 out of 100, and maybe you could see the 160%. Right? After doing bad on test E, 21%, you came back and crushed it the next time. Got all the bonus marks. You got 160%.
And you still get.
Percentages are used a lot all over the place. Okay? What percent of 25 is 14? So now we're looking at English wording. What percent of 25 is 14?
Is it multiplying?
That's like saying 14 out of 25. Change that to a percent, that's 56. What percentage of 72 is 54? That's 54 out of 72, 75%. And finally, 15 out of 10 is 150%. So on your cheat sheet, you might go through these notes and be like, ooh, I think example 2, I do not like the wording the most. Doesn't this one seem like the trickiest one so far? Just of how the English is written? What percent of 25 is 14? It's a little bit more confusing, right? It's if someone said what percent is 14 out of 25, that seems easier. We say that more often. So this might be one you put on your cheat sheet just because of the wording.
Are we gonna have a quiz on this thing?
Are we gonna have what?
Quiz.
Yeah, we're gonna have quizzes, we're gonna have a test.
No, soon.
Soon, we just
Oh, wait,
started. It's day 1. Want a quiz tomorrow?
No.
No? If there are 10 dogs out of 40 animals in total, what percentage are dogs? How would we do that?
10.
He's like
10 out of 40, so we write that
25.
first. Times it by 100 to get the percentage.
25,
25%. How many are not dogs?
75.
This is really cool. What if 25% are dogs? How could we quickly get 75%?
Just like. Just try.
Because if you do all things have to add up to 100%. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
All possibilities would add up to 100%. So if 25% are dogs, that means 75% are not dogs. We could do the fraction. We could say 30 out of 40 again and times it by 100. But you could also do that shortcut to figure out that it's 75%. The teacher gives you a multiple choice test, 40 questions. You get 26 correct. Could you figure out your percentage?
60.
And could you figure out the percentage if you got wrong? Again, I'm going to give you a head start on these questions. Try to see if you can get them done first, and then I'll put up the answer. Okay? And if you get ahead of me and can do part C and do the next question as well, awesome.
Yeah.
So they wrote out the step with, they spread it out with adding. With that, have that step down. Right, yeah, the half, missing the plus. Judgment call whether you wanna bring it down to half or.
Just, you know, this one.
Uh-oh,
No, I don't think that's how it works.
I just realized that the last little bit of notes, I had the red light on here, which means the volume was turned off. So some of the notes will be muted, you'll just be able to watch the picture.
It's fine.
It's okay? Did you get 65% for that one?
Almost.
26 out of 40. Did you get 35% for this one?
Yeah.
If you got 65% right, does it make sense that you got 35% wrong? Because those add up to 100. Uh-oh, teacher realizes she forgot to photocopy the last page of the test and it had 10 multiple choice questions, so she just gave everybody 0 out of 10 on those and would that be nice? No, that would not be
Not that
nice.
much.
Okay. How many would you have to get correct to get an overall percentage of 62%? Okay, so now how many questions are there? If they added 10 more questions, does it make sense? Now there is 50 questions. What do you have to get out of 50? What number has to be on the top to make 62%?
Yeah. Una pregunta, ¿y cómo este problema se podría responder la calculadora?
12.5.
Maybe. Okay.
¿Cómo se podría responder la calculadora?
Call the calculator.
Hi, do you have a Brody there?
Brody is not here today.
Oh, thank you.
JR, I got one more funny one.
Oh, and I marked him as here. I gotta mark him as absent. And oh my goodness, Ellie is absent too.
All of us? Oh.
Okay.
Sweet, like, it's good.
So we need something to go on the top that makes 62%. The question was, how could we use our calculator? Well, you could. Eventually, we're going to learn some algebra techniques to do this, but you could guess. You had 26. 26. If you had 26 out of 50, that's 52%. You want 62%. Does it make sense? You have to get more right. Give me a number bigger than 26. 28. I like it. Is that enough to get 62? No, that makes 56. 42?
No, like free, like,
32?
or yeah.
32 divided by 50. How close is he? Oh, 64.
It's like 41.
31. So this is one way you could, I mean, we are using some guessing and checking on our calculator to come up with 31. So 62 out of 100 is 62%. How do we do 62% of 50? On our calculator, the shorter way would look like this. I pull up my calculator. I know that 62% is 0.62 as a decimal. I times that by 50 to find out what 62% of 50 is, and that would have told me 31 right away. So instead of guessing all the way along, so I need to get 5 more right. If I had 26 to begin with, on the last page, I'd have to get 5 more right to get 62%. 68, do you see that's going to be 34? So you would need to get 8 more right. And if you wanted 72%, you would have to get 36 right, which means you'd have to get all 10 right on that last page. And that would be the highest mark you could get. If you got 65% on the first part, and then you did the last page, the highest you could get is 72%. Yes.
No, you could definitely get 160%.
How would you get 160%?
You have questions.
Oh, yeah.
about 160%.
Exactly.
Apparently it's possible.
Apparently it's possible. Lots of bonus marks, right? Or you just have to bring your teacher gifts of money and gold and jewelry. If you see me all blinged out here, you'll know someone's getting a very high mark.
Get that ice. JR's got that ice.
Okay,
Ya no terminé lo de arriba.
okay.
Ice, JR. Ice, JR.
Are we gonna
Yeah.
have homework on this?
Yes.
Today.
Yeah, we're
It's
gonna
gotta get
give
the
it to you
gorillas, it's gotta get
to
the,
start.
it's gotta get the gorillas.
Are you gonna do more notes after that page?
That's 5 times.
My plan for notes today was to see if we could get to page 4.
What?
If your rims spin counterclockwise, you are not pivoting.
What page are we on right now? We're on page 2. No, are we almost on page 3?
We're just like halfway down page 2.
Halfway down page 2. Alright, here's our next box. To find a percent of a number, what is 64% out of 100? And sometimes you will not have, I'll put this in brackets, because sometimes people will just say 64% of 100. So the word out doesn't have to be there. Okay? Important things here, and I'm going to take out my highlighter. If you want to find a percentage of a number, convert to a decimal by dividing by 100 and then multiply. So 64% as a decimal, divide by 100, you get 0.64. And I would say, for some of you, 64%, you'll just change it to a decimal right away. Then you're going to multiply by what is out of 100. So on your calculator, you go 0.64 times 100, you get 64. 37% of 50. I would change that to 0.37 and I would multiply by 50.
What page is this?
Page number 2. It's page 2.
Same page.
Same page, right after what the example.
Well,
we
I'm
just-
on page 3.
Well, you're working ahead. You get 18.5. Definitely need your calculator for some of these. And you should always be bringing your own calculator so you know how to get used to it.
Estoy a pregunta.
74.
Pregunta. ¿Y cómo diferencia entre si están arriba o abajo?
Mm-mm.
¿Cómo puedo saber?
No, it's not this way.
Pero ¿cómo puedo saber?
37% is always over 100.
Sí, pero ¿cómo puedo saber que va a estar abajo o estar arriba?
Because it's asking every time they convert the percentage to a decimal, divide by 100 and multiply. So let's look at this next one. Right? 20% is 0.20. Out of 25, we multiply by 25, and you would get
Nothing phases.
5.
And some could show up.
125%, you divide that by 100 to get it as a decimal, it'll be 1.25 times by 50. What do you get? Definitely need your calculator for this one. 62.5.
JR,
Yes.
because I'm getting into like trickier territory with some of these.
All right.
Like,
No, they don't get the idea here,
no,
and then the answer is no.
right, like I just wanna be sure.
Okay, see, if you do these next ones, how did you do on your own? I'll put up the answers. Just show you the answers first. Did you get 50? Did you get 750? How did I get them? Well, 10% as a decimal is 0.1 or 0.10. And then I would times that by 500 on my calculator and get 50. 75% as a decimal, 0.75. I would times that by 1,000, and what do I get? 750.
You know what's crazy, JR? Like, do you know how many have done really well in the first step? And then they're swearing. Well, like, I don't know how you go from plus four. Or they're multiplying these two. So it's like, that's one thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, basically you want half if they can do the distribution,
Right.
and then half.
And then usually what happens if you're like, oh, they're missing a major concept, that's usually a 1 by 1. If it's like,
Just in there.
if they did 7 plus 7 and got 13, that'd be a half mark. It's like, if you know what you're supposed to be doing, but you're doing it half instead.
Right.
It is. I'll turn back. Example 2. What is 90% of 25? 90% of 25. Let's change it to a decimal, 0.9 times by 25. And what should we get? 22.5. Try part B. 110% of 36. Check your answer. So what do? We take 110%, change it to a decimal, 1.10, multiply that by 36. You will get 39.6.
What's with the other boxes of that room?
It has the same thing, but it probably has it as 110 divided by 100. So I just leave it, because I change it to decimal right away.
Oh, they just get more and more interesting. I'm feeling moan about this because they missed the squares,
Oh,
but then did everything else.
okay, so then if they did everything, then there's gonna be one idea wrong, then you could give them 2,
True.
right?
I see it. I see
Y
it.
ahora la pregunta, y acá, ¿por qué en el 9.5 si te da multiplicando se vuelve a invertir a
90% es 0.9. Y siempre cuando está convirtiendo esto,
convertir por
sí,
porcentaje.
multiplicar por el total. Entonces, 9% of 25.9 times 25.
Pero
Okay. So now, for those of you that like science, percentages are used in science. You have a 500 ml beaker filled with a substance that has 5.5% acid solutions.
It will be
So what do we want? We wanted to know what percentage of it is acid. So what is 5.5? This question is asking, what is 5.5% of 500? And anytime we have this kind of language, we're going to change it to a decimal.
What the heck type of symbol is that?
That's of.
yeah.
O and an F.
It looks like a symbol from mine.
Okay, making fun of my writing. I see
Single
what's happening.
Chinese.
These guys are just savage.
I know. So there we go. Oh my goodness. Does that ever happen to you? If you write a word really slowly and then you look at it and all of a sudden it's the funniest looking word in the world, like of with an O and an F? Shouldn't it be up? Up?
Oh,
Shouldn't they spell of with a V? Of?
Oh,
Ooh, I don't know.
SGR.
There we go. That's how it sounds.
SGR. ¿Y cuál es la diferencia entre of y of?
No, that's like.
This is of. ¿Qué no significa nada?
No, of. De
Off
de
with two Fs.
desactivado.
Es cerrar. Terminar algo. Off. Cerrar la luz. Tener off. Okay, times by 500. And what do we get? We get 27.5.
Yeah, I was close.
So we get lots of these real life percentage questions all over the place. Okay, so percentages are super important. You will, all right? I don't know if you listen to the news now, but as you get older, the news becomes more important because things that happen in the world will affect like how much money you get paid, or things that happen in the world affect how much the gas prices are, right? And then you get, or sort of like someone says gas prices are gonna go up 20%. You're like, what does that mean? Can I figure that out? So let's do some more real life percentage questions here. Class of 30 students, 60% are female. See if you can figure out how many students are female, how many students are not female. We got this. Okay. Part C, how many students would you need to add to the class that are not female so that you have 50-50?
17.
What did they be like? 20 or 20?
I'll put up the answer in a second, and if you want, you can work ahead on 5, 6, 7.
Okay, alright. It's very easy to happen in this unit.
Okay, so
Trying it on your own.
wait.
See if you can get an answer on your own, please. See if you can get an answer on your own.
I don't know what
Mr.
happened.
That sure like cats.
And make sure
Yeah.
you learn all
Seriously,
tienes que aprender todas las
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tienes que aprender en inglés. ¿Qué significa? ¿Ok? ¿Y cómo se dice? Por ejemplo, esto.
Cause that's like 46, right?
Well, no, that's just.
Feminine.
Female. Yes.
SGR. Es así que se hace.
No.
You confuse yourself.
¿Cómo?
Right?
60%
Look at the question.
es punto 6.
Why did you go five?
Multiplicado por 30.
You
A
use.
18.
Is it because it's gonna get
¿Cuántas
hot?
personas en el clase?
Because.
Hay un clase que tiene 30 estudiantes.
12.
Sí.
It looked good, but it was.
60%
Sí, feminine.
Hair's like
mujeres.
hair is like
They feel the pride.
Kind of
Then.
Como
Get
feminicidas.
Kind of like the, you know who that is?
I know that's
Okay,
but like
so 60%. Change that to a decimal. By dividing by 100, multiply by 30, you should get 18. That means there are 12 that are not female.
Mr.
You want 50% female. How many do you have to add to this so that it's 50-50? Exactly the same?
6.
You have to add 6.
Like Mr. We need a round number. Like I guess 7.5. Up there.
Yeah, this is, no, it has to be, it should be exactly 18. This is wrong.
Okay. Alright. Next time.
Okay, try the next one.
No, please. I know.
I'll keep it up. But you can start, once you're done writing the answer to this one down, a steel plate is 40% iron. The total weight is 250 kilograms. It's super, super heavy. How much does the iron weigh?
You have it on your own.
What are we gonna show? Keep that beat going.
Yeah.
So, I do have to show you. This is the best. This is fantastic. It's easily implemented, but. So you can see how well things get done here. And which was significantly different from the others. It's to just a little lack of movements. Because he put it down and looked like 12. So I'm like, that's
Yeah.
right?
I don't know.
That's not being generous.
Yeah,
What's he asking?
that's good. Yeah. And then let's get the next one. 2 half mark mistakes. Okay, let's see how you did on the next one. 40% of 250, change it to a decimal, times by 250. Did you get 100
Like
kilograms?
Nope.
How much would you need to add so that it was 50-50? Right now, 100 kilograms is iron. What does that mean? That means 150 kilograms is not iron. How much more do you need to add to make it equal? 50. Okay, try the next one. Ooh, the evil teacher question.
SGR. SGR.
Yes.
How many students you have?
Una pregunta es para ustedes.
A little bit.
SGR. Y mañana vamos a tener test de esto. ¿Y qué día?
No sé todavía. So sure, we do a month on polio. We do a half a day with this, and they're like, we have tests more.
I think that I got it right.
Confident much?
I'm pretty sure I got it right.
This can be bad.
All right, let's see how you did with the evil teacher question. Evil teacher just says 25% will fail. Doesn't matter how good they do. How many will pass?
24.
24, because 75% will pass. Which means 8 will fail.
I'm gonna go one more.
The evil teacher hates marking, and so decides the class is too big. He convinces 7 students to drop in the first week. Right? If you want your phone back, you'll drop this close. If he still wants a 16% failure rate of the remaining students, how many of the remaining students should fail? Well, how many students are left? Got 7 to drop. Does it make sense that we now have now have 25 students, and we want a 16% failure rate? So 16% of 25 still wants to fail 4 students.
Hi, can you send Isabella Rodriguez to the office?
She's not in this class right now.
She's not? Okay, thanks.
Jeez.
They just keep asking people who aren't even here.
Oh yeah. Oh, did everybody have enough chance to write the last one?
Yeah.
Or did you finish?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, try the next one. I'll put this back up.
I can't, I'm too shiny.
Oh.
Did you get the song out of that? Or
Did we do extra one?
What is it? What's the movie?
Moana.
Moana. I
Yeah,
can't, I'm too shiny.
who's the guy that beat Kobe Bryant? Yeah, 83 points, dude.
Oh, out of IU's game?
Yeah.
Ridiculous, eh?
He could have beat, he probably could have got 100.
They were fouling at the end just to get him more shots.
Crazy.
If he made more of his free throws, he probably could have points.
He made 36 free throws.
I know, he missed
That's
like,
insane.
he missed like a bunch, I'm pretty sure, too.
All right, let's see how you did on the next one. Brina travels a journey of 6,580 kilometers to get to her best friend's house. Nice.
It's a bit of a distance.
It's a little ways to go.
A little ways.
She drives 987 kilometers on the first day. Woo! That's still pretty far. What percentage of her journey does she still have left to travel? Well, if we figure out that 987 out of 6,580 is 15%, how much left does she have? 15% is what she's done. She has 85% of her journey left.
Watermelon sugar.
Una pregunta. ¿Y no se supone que los más grandes deberían estar atrás y los más chiquitos adelante para que ellos puedan ver? Porque no pueden ver porque los más grandes están ahí y no pueden ver.
It's random.
Es un poco injusto.
We have one topic left for today's notes.
Yeah, well, you should just like put the worksheet for more.
The worksheet for this unit is different than normal. You know, I used to give you little ones. Now I have like a worksheet booklet for the first part.
So they're handed in at the end of the class.
So there's going to be, instead of a bunch of mini assignments in this unit, 3 bigger ones. Okay? All right. Here we go. Last topic. Finding the original number. Sort of like a reverse percentage. 40% of something is 64. So now, what's happening here is we know the answer is 64. 40% as a decimal is 0.4. Normally, we would do 40% of a number, we'd do 0.4 times something equals 64. Now, you have to figure out what goes in there. Method 1, which is the longest method, is you just guess. All right, let's take out our calculator and start guessing.
Stop it.
So I'm going to do 0.4. Someone give me a guess. What do you think the answer is?
26.
0.4 of 26. Is the answer 64? You got 10.4. You're off. So we need a bigger or smaller number?
Bigger.
Bigger. So let's do 0.4 of someone. 67. Nice.
No, it's 6-7.
Oh, 26. We need 64, guys.
Okay.
Tell me a number.
140.
146?
No.
Ooh, we're too much now.
36.
152.
Hey,
100. If 146 was too much, 152 is bigger.
138.
Oh, it's too much?
We need 40. We need. Oh no, we need bigger. Sorry, you're right.
Yes.
Needs bigger. 152, you think? What did you say, Eeyore? What did you say?
I say 150, but it's not
150,
2.
152? Does that get us to, oh, we're getting closer.
Oh, okay. You said
154. So, first of all, do you see that this method might be a little frustrating? Because we're getting closer.
wait. Okay.
I know the answer.
You know the answer. What is it?
164.
160.
160? Here's the answer. Now, how do we find the answer? Well, we're going to do a little bit of math and a little bit of algebra. If you had something times something equals this, what's the opposite of multiplying? Dividing. So we do that instead and say, well, that question mark is going to equal 64 divided by 0.4. And I do that in my calculator, and do I get the answer right away then?
Yes.
Just do a check here. 64 divided by 0.4. Wow, that gives me the answer right away. Way better than guessing and checking. So,
Okay, what's it about?
no, almost at break time. You got 5 minutes. You can wait. So we'll finish up our notes here. 75% of a number is 240. I actually like writing it out this way. 0.75 times by, I don't know, equals 240. Opposite of multiplying is dividing. And anybody got an answer?
320.
320 on our calculator. That is the answer. What is the number? The number is 320.
Oh, 320.
Okay.
Try the next two. I'll put up the answers in a bit, and that will be where we end our notes for today.
Like, there.
So this is an idea wrong. And they rewrote it here. Did they simplify that? No. Another idea wrong. Those are the most frustrating marking
Now,
is
what
when you spend a lot of time looking at questions and then still get them.
yeah. Like, what about here, for example? I've been doing that. Yeah, I've been giving, here's a great example, 1.5. But then, for example, but then, for example, here I gave one, because they didn't show any other steps, they got a different answer, right?
So that's, if they have to write out, that's half my way, and if they write out. Yep, I like it. Well, let's see how you did.
I might be able to finish the back.
Yeah, hold 20 minutes.
Original price, $562.50.
But that doesn't make any sense because the 450 is for ATV and the TV is 80%. That doesn't make any sense because now you're talking about two different things. Oh, I'm stupid. It's an A space and then
All right, he's good. He's good. But I love that argument. I love how you argued out what you saw, and then through your argument, you're like, oh. Sometimes you're curious. I'm curious about this. Sometimes I see a price, and they say this is now $450, and it's 80% of its original price. You're like, whoa, how much was it originally? And sometimes companies do this. They're like, okay, this jacket, okay? That jacket's price is $40. Would you buy it? Okay? Now they tell you this. This jacket's price is $40. It was originally $520. Would you buy it? Now it's $40. Right? See, they do that sometimes to manipulate you into buying something. It might be like, we always sell it for $40, but if we pretend it was worth $520, then you feel like you're getting a really good deal, and then you're more tempted to buy it. See. Well, I better not put this on the video. I'll turn it on me for a second. But there, I think Canadian Tire, don't quote me on the numbers, but they had to pay a fine of something like $10 million fine. That's a lot of money. Because they advertised exactly that way. They convinced people that the regular price was $1,000 and it's now $200. And someone explored and they said, you never ever listed it as $1,000. So you were using false advertising to convince people to buy it. And so they sued them and they won a $10 million damages for doing that. That's a lot of money. Okay, so percentages and stuff like that come up all over the place in the real world, and sometimes it can be lots and lots of money. I would love to get $10 million. If anybody is not using it, let me know. Okay. And our last question. On average, a family is paying $500 a month per groceries this year. Ooh. And the groceries are now 125% of the price they were a year ago because of inflation. Last year, how much were they paying? Well, if you divide by 125, 1.25, prices last year were $400.